G'day, I'm MP Numbers and welcome back to creaYTors.
Have mercy on me, sinner.
Now we're here today to judge Series 2 Challenge 1 videos. The teams were all asked to create archetype videos for Ixalan Draft. They're each assigned a colour. Make sure you check out the challenge video below if you haven't seen it yet. Now, as always, all the feedback we give here is just the opinions of us as the judges. We don't claim to be experts, we don't claim to know absolutely everything, and it's just a bit of feedback, a bit of fun, and go from there. Now, the winner of today's challenge will get an advantage into the first elimination challenge, which will be coming out very shortly. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, check us out on Patreon if you want to support, and find us on Twitter as well. Now let's jump into the individual feedback. First of all, we're going to start with Foodtime. Now, looking at Foodtime's, I was actually really impressed with this video. We got a lot of good quality images coming in, some great animations behind them. I liked that we had a static background and the audio was pretty solid on this one. On the downside, looking at the concept, I didn't really get an overview. It was more of kind of just a list of cards rather than looking at interactions, looking at priority picks, things like that. Probably the thing I like most about Foodtime's video is that they're one of the only teams to actually make the effort to cut the little corners off the cards in the images, which is one of my personal pet peeves. For all the other competitors, I definitely recommend jumping onto scryfall.com and downloading any PNG images that you want to use in your videos, so it cuts out the little white or black corners and makes the cards look a lot nicer.
Foodtime, who is our blue-white player. I thought this was a really neat little video. I really thought the transition and the card effects were brilliant, as you can see going on in the background. The only thing I would say is perhaps it was a little bit too short, and maybe there could have been a little bit more detail in there, but overall, a brilliant little video that did its job very well. Thumbs up.
Foodtime, I absolutely loved your video. Loved the way the sequencing of the cards, good speed, really informative, short and sweet, perfect, absolutely brilliant video. Like the graphics in the background as well. Thumbs up, well done, guy.
Moving on to Coops from the Whole Box and Dice. Now, one of my personal favourite things about this video was the little overview slide at the start. It gave a bit of information, maybe a bit more information than we needed, but was definitely interesting. Probably on the downside, looking at the length of the video, it wasn't too long, but we did spend a good 20% of the video talking about what we're going to talk about. So I think we could probably cut down the start of the video just to make that a bit more time efficient and overall reduce the time of the video and get a bit more to the point. Again, we had great audio. I can't help but think that with the way your voice was coming through, maybe a bit of background music might have helped here, just a light undertone. Otherwise, it's another great video. You definitely got the information across fantastically, and we got to see what we wanted to see about the archetype, and yeah, it was awesome.
Next up we have Whole Box and Die with our black-white combo going on. This video had all the detail I'd ever need in it. It was so comprehensive and I thought it was pretty well done. It was simple but clean editing, which I appreciated. The only thing I'd say is perhaps it was a little bit too comprehensive for me as a novice drafter at the start. There's quite a long period to where we get to cards coming on, but overall, a super video.
So the next video I watched was the Whole Box and Dice. Really very informative video, and I love your little caption points that you brought up. Thought it was, very, very in-depth and would be brilliant for a new beginner who's just going to the draft. So that is a very well done video as well.
Moving on to the guy at Breakfast with Nerds. Now, for one, I really love this news desk feel that you guys have. Makes it feel a bit more professional, but also fun at the same time. The one thing I might comment on, I know this is the same setup you guys use quite often, but with your lighting, there's a lot of glary points. Like if you look in your background, you can see the reflective lights. Personally, I don't know actually how you'd fix that, but it's something that I notice. And there are a few points where Randy looks a bit washed out by the lights. It may be just because he's a really white guy, but it seems that sometimes it's a bit overbearing on the lighting. I really like the little subheadings you're using all the way through the video. Also, the fact that you've got the timestamps in your description means that it's very easy to jump back and forth through the video and get the important information, as this is an educational thing where people may want to jump back and forth. Now, some of your images were poor quality. I'm assuming maybe you just done a quick Google search for them. Again, jumping into scryfall.com to find some better quality ones just helps it all look a bit nicer. In terms of your audio, I probably would have bumped the music down and the voice up just a smidge. But I really did like the little zoom in and out that you guys did as you were filming, and to allow for the cards to come in. It was a nice little touch that we saw in the video. The only other thing I'd quickly mention is I really love you guys' normal intro. Not sure if you took that out on purpose or if you try to move away from it, but yeah, kind of missed it. Thanks again.
Breakfast with Nerds, who are our white-red players. So for this video, I thought it was really well done. I loved the effects and how you'd sorted it by mana cost and card type. That made a really good guide for me. However, just occasionally the background music and the sound effects were a tad over your voices. It was difficult to hear at times what you were saying. So perhaps the balance was a little bit off on that, but otherwise I thought it was an absolutely brilliant draft video with all the information I'd need and well presented.
So the next video I watched was Breakfast with Nerds. Clearly you guys have great chemistry together. Really liked the video. I thought the music behind the background sometimes was a little bit too loud for me overhearing what you were saying. But very informative. Nice graphics coming in when your picture was up in the corner. All in all, a very good video.
MTG Canuck. Definitely attacked this challenge a bit of a different way to the other guys, looking at more of a personal draft rather than an overview. And while I definitely appreciated putting that personal spin onto it, it may not have been quite as educational as the others. I really love the extra editing effects, the extra time you've put into making this video really neat. In terms of your layout, I love the mostly simple desk with the cards coming up. Personally, I'd probably recommend taking the theme out of it, so it's definitely nice to have it there in the introduction, but probably could have just allowed a little bit of less clutter on the screen to take that off after it was already talked about. Personally, I really don't like the font you've chosen here, especially for the spells. The font just seems to take away from the video. It takes away from that neatness that you've got with the rest of it. And finally, I really love this overview you've given. You've chucked it there in a nice, easy to read text and read through it as you go, meaning that we can get the information that you've talked about. Again, if it was maybe just a bit more of a general overview rather than just a specific draft you're looking at, might have definitely helped us out there. But otherwise, definitely a great video. Love the fact that you're back in the season and can't wait to see what more you can do from here, mate.
MTG Canuck, who is our black-green player. I loved this little intro you had going on. The effects were really good. The only thing I'd say is on the screen where you presented all of the cards, it looked a little bit of a mismatch with all the different texts and images going on. I felt maybe like just here, like a consistent border effect might have tied it all together, but otherwise I thought it was a great little draft video, and yeah, that intro effect, really good.
So my next video was MTG Canucks, back for Season 2. Your editing skills have definitely upped, really like it, fella, with the chalkboard at the end, very, very good, very informative. Black-green was very hard colours for me, not as easy as maybe the blue-whites or some of the others, but you did very well, and looking forward to your next video.
Yore MTG. Mate, honestly a great video. To be honest, if I'm going to have to pick a personal favourite, it was probably this one. We had a nicely paced video with all the fantastic information that we needed in regards to drafting red-green. It was entertaining, had a bit of a laugh, and then also that extra bit of information using the Pro Tour for some real-life examples. Honestly, you just smashed it out of the park with this one. Because my job is to be picky, there are a few things that I found were a bit iffy. Sometimes, like the other video, the card images that you used weren't 100% quality. There were a few times that the colour and type of font you were using with the backgrounds did make it a bit harder to read, especially looking at a mobile. Sometimes you did outline it though, so a bit more consistency on just the quality of the text coming through on those backgrounds. And please never use borderless land images again. All in all, I said probably my pick of the videos, if I'm going to be completely honest. I definitely like the information that came through and think there's definitely some great potential here. Thanks for the video.
Next up we have Yore MTG, who is our red-green player, and I just really loved this video. The whole concept of it I thought was really well put together. The only thing I'd say from the standpoint of the video is occasionally there wasn't really the why you were picking the cards, and for, you know, just information purposes maybe that was needed, but otherwise I just thought it was a brilliant, well put together video, very humorous, so thumbs up from me.
So the next video I saw was Yore MTG. Absolutely loved your video, fella. Made me laugh all the way through. Some of the captions coming in were absolutely hilarious. I will say some of them flashed in a little bit too quick for me. You know, maybe keep them up the screen just that extra second, or you know, just a little bit longer. But it was brilliant, very informative. It was just a great video. It did make me laugh as well. Well done, mate.
And finally, Project Peanuts. Now, we both know there's a few things going on here. I know you were sick, and I do definitely appreciate you getting the video out to meet the challenge as requested. As all your videos, I love your energy and I love the way that you bring the information to it. But if I'm going to be completely honest, there were definitely some issues with the lighting. Obviously, your voice with the sickness that you had, it was pretty obvious that was happening, and there's no real way to get around that. I know you did fill that video in at the end with the card overview, which wasn't quite the challenge I was hoping here. I did kind of want a bit more throughout the video, as the rest of the team did. But the information you gave in regards to the blue-red archetype was pretty solid. Overall, the video was fine. If you weren't sick and had the time to commit to it, I can imagine it would have been a lot better.
And finally, we have Project Peanuts, who's our blue-red drafter. I really enjoyed the concept behind this video and the fact that there were actual cards and the live sort of draft environment at the end. However, I felt the recording of it let it down a little bit just because they are actual cards, and autofocus cannot be your friend at times when you're trying to read text on cards. As you can see, I watch on quite a small screen, so sometimes the text is just impossible to read. But if I could give bonus points for foil cards, I would, because those were some choice foils there, sir.
And the final video for Challenge 1 I watched was Project Peanuts. You did seem quite ill in the video, mate. I feel really sorry for you there. Lighting needs to be sorted out a bit, but I love the way you had the actual cards in there, and then still you had the caption cards at the end, which is a very nice touch at the end, where it was sort of flashing up cards and letting you know, what you thought of each one. Really did like the video, and hopefully in the next video you're feeling a lot better, my friend, and we see the full potential of Project Peanuts.
So those are all our judges' thoughts on the 6 videos. Now, each judge was asked to issue a score out of 10 to each competitor for the concept, or how well they've hit the challenge, the recording, or how well the video was recorded, and finally the editing, and obviously how the video was put together. I've tallied up all the scores, and let's have a look. Now, the contest was a pretty close one, so the score difference ranged from 73 for the highest down to 58 for the bottom score. Now, our lowest 3 videos in no particular order were Project Peanuts, MTG Canuck, and Breakfast with Nerds. The bottom 2 scorers ended on a tie of 58, and the 4th place was at 63. Coming in 3rd this week with a score of 67 out of potential 90 was Coops from the Whole Box and Dice. Now, with our last 2 competitors, there was literally 1 point between 1st and 2nd. And it looks like coming in 2nd on 72 points was Foodtime, meaning that Yore MTG was our winner on 73 points. If we're going to break down the scores, Yore MTG smashed it on the concept side of the video, getting 29 out of a possible 30 points. While Foodtime actually beat him out on both recording and editing, getting the highest scores in the competition for both of those. So that's Challenge 1 out of the way. Now, the competitors have already received the information for Challenge 2, where they should be hopefully working on it now. This challenge will be an elimination challenge, and you'll see some more information in the next couple of videos that come up in regards to the challenge. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to check in the description. We've got our contest for a unique playmat. We've got our Patreon there if you do feel like supporting. And obviously we've got our links to all our YouTubers, Twitters, YouTube channel, all their social media, so you can get in touch with them, make sure you follow them, and let them know what you think of the results and whether they were ripped off or congratulate them. Thanks for watching.